Hey everyone, JL here, and welcome to my new video. Recently, I've been sad. Sad because no theists want to debate me. I've been trying my best to encourage them to talk to me, but they just won't do it. Luckily, fellow beardsman Irish Demon clued me into something else that I could talk about. Flat Earth. I know. Flat Earth isn't normally one of the things that I tackle here. There are just so many brilliant creators out there creating content that for me to jump in would feel like the newest teen drama at the CW. However, this particular dose of stupidity offered the opportunity of a lifetime, the chance to hit 2 for 1, and I just couldn't resist. Now, everyone unfortunately knows of Nathan Thompson. You know, this thing.
SpongeBob, fairy tale, imagination land, science.
Cool story, bro.
You were gonna knock my teeth out if I recorded you. Come on, dude, you little NASA liar.
And anyone familiar with this walking predatory malignancy knows that Nathan likes to copy the bigger flerfs and woo believers all around him, like Ked Hovind.
Pay attention, boy. None of them.
And Nathan Oakley.
Well, NASA were developed for the sole purpose of lying to us. Their only purpose is to perpetuate the globe lie.
And of course, people are also familiar with the absurdity of his many times debunked Flat Earth flyers. But in classic Nathan Thompson style, not even that is original. That brings us to Orlando Ferguson. Mr. Ferguson was born in 1846 and died in 1911. He was a simple man who lived a simple life. Born in DuQuoin, Illinois, he married in 1872 and then moved to the Dakota Territory, where he settled in beautiful Hot Springs. He ran a grocery store and built a hotel. But when that burned down in a fire, he built a bathhouse. And because of all the sick people that used to visit him, the local townsfolk started calling him Doctor. No, he wasn't an actual doctor. He just played one in one of the harshest, untamed environments in turn-of-the-century America. Years later, he would die there. And that would have been his story, had the Library of Congress not accepted via donation a copy of his, you guessed it, 1893 Flat Earth map. Yep, in a time and place where gold and prostitutes were pretty much all that were on people's minds, old Fergie here was a fucking flerf. And upon closer inspection, the stupid just keeps on coming. Let's take a look. Starting at the top, we have the name of the map and all the pertinent information therein. I'm sure you noticed the 400 passages in the Bible that condemn the globe theory. This was in no doubt inspired by William Carpenter's book, 100 Proofs the Earth is Not a Globe. Now that was published in 1885, but it was probably what inspired this asshole. Now, starting at this corner, we have an angel, one of 4, holding up a corner of the earth, and the passage Revelation 7:1, which refers to the 4 angels holding in the winds of the earth during the apocalypse. Next up is an image of the esteemed Orlando himself. Yeah, he was about as much a professor as Hovind is a doctor. Another angel, and the same biblical passage. Moving over to the center, we see the map itself, a sort of combination of concave and convex dissymmetry, in which none of the distances, sizes, or even global positions match demonstrable reality. Australia's looking a little lean. South America's something. Ah, our good friends in the frozen Dominion of Canada. The Sun, Polaris, and of course the Moon. Oh, look at his wee little face. Carrying on, another angel, and more scripture. And one of my favorite images on this map, something that Thompson, Dubé, Oakley, and so many other flat arts talk about, the speed of the rotating Earth. Notice the snarky in their minds. Very Thompson-y of you, Ferguson, you cheeky bastard. Gotta admire those beards, though. Lastly, another Birdman, and more Bible nonsense. For anyone curious, the birdmen at the corners of the earth represented the 4 cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. When the Bible was written, the oral tradition of the Bronze Age bloodthirsty goat herders that inspired it was deeply ignorant. These men recognized that the sun moved in one direction across the sky. So, its starting and ending points would become east and west. And if you were facing the direction with the rising sun on your right, that would become north, and on the left, south. Because they had no real concept of how an ocean really works, it was hypothesized that the corners of the earth must have been held aloft by powerful entities so as not to sink into the sea. These entities would become the angels, and as expressed in Revelation 7:1, it is these angels who would hold back the 4 winds of the earth, because they had no real concept of how an atmosphere works. At this point, it's pretty basic flerf nonsense, though presented with more artistry and with the gentlemanly snark of the time. But today...
So fire needs what element, folks, in order to continue to burn?
Hydrogen.
Oxygen.
He's such a fucking idiot.
My oh my, how the flerfs have fallen. Now, the best part of all this lies down at the bottom of the map. Because it's full of fucking scripture! We've got Exodus, Isaiah, Joshua, Jeremiah, Acts, Chronicles. But if we look closer, we see some major issues with the biblical verses that Fergie took from either his King James or Darby Bible. Exodus 17:12. This is actually a reference to Aaron and Hur helping Moses keep his hands up when he got tired of holding them in the air. Joshua 10:12-13. That's when God stopped the sun in the sky for Joshua to give him more time. We actually know now that that was an eclipse. Thank you, Egyptians.
Walk like an Egyptian.
1 Chronicles 16:30. Interesting wording, but only if you ignore the previous verse. So yeah, basically God is all powerful, and if you don't give him what he wants, he gets really cranky. Psalms 136, 6-7. This is a little bit of Fergie trickery. The words, not worlds, don't actually appear in the verse. Fergie added that. Isaiah 12:10. Wait a second. There is no Isaiah 12:10. That is a typo. He actually meant Isaiah 13:10, which is about the fall of Babylon. Isaiah 11:12. Finally one that references the complete misunderstanding of the globe because they didn't know it was a globe at the time that it was written. Isaiah 14:7. Shh. This is referencing the quiet after Babylon's destruction. Isaiah 29. This one is weird because Isaiah here talks about the destruction of David's city Ariel. The words prophecy concerning the globe theory don't actually appear in the verse. There is no mention of the globe at all. Isaiah 31. More apocalypse talk. Isaiah 38, 8 through 9. This is just about God giving Hezekiah more time to live and more time to take the city back from the king of Assyria. No mention of the globe. Isaiah 40, 22. More God is super powerful nonsense. Isaiah 52, 5. More apocalypse. Isaiah 54, 42. More apocalypse. Isaiah 58, 13. God is powerful. Jeremiah 31, 35 through 36. Notice the not worlds again. Oh, and this references God as all-powerful and will fuck your shit up if you don't do as he says. Acts 2:20. And more apocalypse. You know, you'd think that... Wait just another minute. It seems that Ferguson has cherry-picked the Bible to create a sort of hodgepodge of scripture that suits his narrative. Weren't there some other people who disingenuously cherry-picked the data to fit their claims? I'm sure it was one of them. And last but not least, in the bottom right is all the information that you would have needed to purchase your very own copy of Fergie's Crazy Thoughts. And only 25 cents too. Today that'd be about $7.15. Well, as we can see, Nathan Thompson and the rest of the Flat Earth Creeper Society aren't just a bunch of liars and con men. They aren't even creative enough to come up with their own original lies and cons. They really are a bunch of fucking idiots. Well, that's going to wrap up this look at the original Flat Earth Flyer, a grand inspiration for over 100 years of stupidity. I'm JL. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I've put a link to the map in the description if you'd like to check it out for yourself. And if you dig horror movies, be sure to check out our podcast, Week in Horror, as well as our brand new Discord community. We have some excellent stuff going on over there. Links down below. Thank you so much again. Your support means everything to me. And as always, be safe, be excellent, and we'll see you next time.
You and me, we used to be together, every day together.